ASAP Rocky plunged into Rihanna's arms Tuesday as a clerk read the not guilty verdict in his trial on 2 felony charges of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The Los Angeles courtroom, packed with fans of the hip-hop artist and his singing superstar girlfriend, erupted into shrieking joy as Rocky jumped from the defense table into the gallery, where Rihanna was seated between his mother and sister. They hugged and cried. Following a 3-week trial, the jury deliberated for only 3 hours before issuing the verdict that spared Rocky, whose given name is Rakim Mayers, a jail term that might have lasted over 2 decades. "Thank y'all for saving my life," he said to the jurors as they exited. Amid the chaos, it took the clerk a while to read the second not guilty verdict, though it was very unlikely the jury would split on the counts. "Mr. Mayers, you're excused," Judge Mark Arnold said. On the eve of trial, Rocky turned down a prosecution offer of just 6 months in jail, along with probation and other conditions, if he would plead guilty to 1 count. Standing by his innocence, Rocky risked going to trial, hoping that a jury would believe him, and it worked. The jurors eventually ruled that there was at least reasonable doubt about his guilt. After the verdict, Rihanna hugged Rocky's defense lawyers, as did Rocky himself. She watched part of the trial and took the couple's 2 younger sons, 2-year-old RZA Athelston Mayers and 1-year-old Riot Rose Mayers, in to listen to portions of the closing arguments. Once the verdict was read, the couple weaved through a thick throng of photographers, journalists, YouTubers, and admirers before climbing into a waiting SUV outside the courthouse. "This entire experience has been crazy for the last 4 years," Rocky said through the chaos. "I'm grateful and blessed to be standing here today as a free man, talking to you all." Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman accepted the jury's decision, saying, "Our office respects the jury's decision. We are still committed to holding people accountable, no matter who they are or how influential they may be. Celebrity does not exempt anyone from the law, and we will continue to pursue justice on behalf of victims and the community." The acquittal arrives at a critical juncture in ASAP Rocky's career, a peak in his public profile, if not the apex of his musical fortunes. A 3-time Grammy Award nominee, fashion icon, and actor, Rocky has a banner year ahead of him, one that he can now do without the specter of jail hanging over his head. He is scheduled to top the bill at the Rolling Loud Music Festival in March, appear as a celebrity co-chair at fashion's highest profile event, the Met Gala, in May, and play opposite Denzel Washington in Spike Lee's new film, Highest to Lowest, which is due out early summer. Prosecutors contended the case was a result of a long-standing feud between Rocky and a former collaborator, A$AP, with whom he had been a member of the A$AP mob since high school. The 2 men met up in Hollywood on November 6, 2021, and an altercation took place, according to the prosecution and their witnesses. They claimed Rocky pulled out a gun and fired twice at Relly, one of the shots reportedly brushing his knuckle, though he was not hurt seriously. Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, denied this in his closing argument, describing Relly as an angry, pathological liar who committed perjury repeatedly. A$AP Rocky's defense counsel and their witnesses maintained that he had discharged a prop gun containing blanks, which he had obtained from a set of a music video months ago and carried around for protection. They argued that he fired the gun as a warning shot in order to defend a crew member who was under attack by ASAP Relly. The jury was told that if they concluded Rocky had a reasonable belief he or his friends were in immediate danger and that he employed reasonable force in self-defense, they could reach a not guilty verdict. Yet the particular rationale for their deliberation is not clear. The jurors were quickly ushered from the courthouse and refused to comment to reporters. It is not known if their decision was made on the assumption that Rocky had a prop gun or that he was acting in self-defense. Since jurors do not have to agree on a unanimous reason, only a unanimous verdict, their discussions are not known. "They saw through this illusion of a case," Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, said after the verdict. "He rejected a plea bargain with limited time in jail because he was innocent." During his closing argument, Deputy District Attorney John Lewin asked the jury to remain objective, warning them against being influenced by the celebrity nature or family dynamics of the case. He implied that Rihanna's bringing the couple's children to closing arguments was a calculated move to sway the jury. "You are not permitted to think about how this will impact Rihanna and his children," Lewin said. "We are all accountable for our own actions in the world." After the verdict, Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, spoke to reporters outside of court, claiming that Rocky did not want Rihanna present at the trial. "Rocky did not want her here, I will tell you that," he said. "He wanted to protect her from this, but wild horses couldn't keep her away." Rocky arrived more than 30 minutes late for the reading of the verdict. appearing visibly tense as he awaited the decision. There was a moment before the clerk spoke when he didn't know whether he would be spending the next 2 decades in prison or going home, Tacopina remarked. As the not guilty verdict was read, the courtroom was overcome with emotion, ending with Rocky's showy leap into the crowd to hug Rihanna. "I didn't know he was that athletic," Tacopina said. "That was raw, unadulterated emotion. Even for us, it was an unbelievable moment."